You're welcome back to the channel. I'm your host, Joey Sparks. That's two E's, no Y. You heard me, two E's, no Y. And in this video, we are going to be reacting for the very first time to Ren's Domino official lyric video. I love Ren. You love Ren. We all love Ren. Let's dive into some new Ren for me, right? I saw this one. People have been asking me for a while, but I wanted to kind of keep it in the tuck yet. I wasn't sure if I was ready to get there just yet. And then today, as I'm going through, I'm like, I need another Ren one. So let me find which one. And I saw this one. I said, today's the day. We doing Dominoes today. So if you're ready for me to react for the very first time to Ren's Domino official lyric video, then let me know. But first, I got to play my intro. Sip, coffee, sip, yeah, 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 bang. Let's go. Let's pull this up, boom, so we don't mess that up, boom. First things first, do me a favor, like and comment on all the content. If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. I'm a music videographer by trade. That POV is what I take into all the reactions I do here on the channel. I also do reviews and unboxings here. So hit the subscribe button, stay around, make friends in the comments. We got a nice, cool family, a little nice group, uplifting community here, and we'd love for you to be part of it, all right? Let's jump into some more Ren. All right, without further ado, let's go.
You probably know Vistaprint.
This is not fun. So when Joey's got a stretch, what does he do? He asks you if you know his name is Shirley Joe, and he attempts to start with flows, but he ain't good or cold like the videos that he watches, but here I am. All right, let's go again. Put that volume back up and...
Oh, you build this like dominoes, dominoes, dominoes falling. Oh, you build this like dominoes, dominoes, dominoes falling. You build us up just to knock us back down. Funny how you act so.
I love the whisper. The whisper is it for me. Not to mention the message I'm with.
Oh, you build this like dominoes, dominoes, dominoes falling. You build us up just to knock us back down. Funny how you act surprised when we hit the ground. We're like dominoes, dominoes, dominoes falling. So bleed me of all my self-belief. My smile shows all my insecurity. In a kingdom of Photoshop, kings and queens will never feel happy with ourselves, but insecurity sells. Dominoes, dominoes, dominoes falling. Oh, you build us like dominoes, dominoes, dominoes falling.
Yo, he not lying. With this social media is designed to knock us down like that, like some dominoes. You're not good enough. You're not pretty enough. You don't own as much. You don't flex as much. You don't, you don't artistically inspire as much. Whatever it might be, it is the comparison factor, and it's designed to keep us falling. And then, yeah, you build us up with all these likes, and then be surprised when we hit the ground when we don't have them anymore. And then insecurity does sell.
In a kingdom of Photoshop, kings and queens will never feel happy with ourselves, but insecurity sells. Dominoes, dominoes, dominoes falling. Oh, you build us like dominoes, dominoes, dominoes falling. You build us up just to knock us back down. Funny how you act surprised when we hit the ground. We're like dominoes, dominoes, dominoes falling. I hide my head under the sheets. Cause how can I face a world that ridicules the weak? Where beauty is sold on the shelves, forbid that we find it in ourselves. And now I'm broke, it don't come cheap.
How can you expect not to fall like dominoes with that ideology being pushed on us? And then apparently, doesn't matter where you're at. It seems to be hitting him the same just as it hits me. It doesn't really hit me, in fact, affect me that way. But yeah, I guess I'm worried that other people just fall victim to, like, you gotta buy happiness, you can't find it. Like,
where beauty is sold on the shelves, forbid that we find it in ourselves. And now I'm broke, it don't come cheap.
no.
Oh, you build this like dominoes, dominoes, dominoes falling. Oh, you build this like dominoes, dominoes, dominoes falling. You build us up just to knock us back down. Funny how you act surprised when we hit the ground. We're like dominoes, dominoes, dominoes falling. Ariah was the most beautiful girl in this world. She shined like diamonds and rubies and pearls.
Aww.
But then, as soon as she turned 13, she forgot just how bright that it was that she gleamed. Stuck in the material world of magazines that glamorise fake and Photoshop beauty queens. Top 10 beauty tips making her feel inadequate. For the first time in her life, she felt ugly. So Ariah stopped eating to lose weight. She spent her dinner money on some makeup for her face. But no matter how much she lost or how much she bought, she was never good enough, or so she thought. Ariah felt she could never be loved. She started cutting her wrists and hiding her scars with gloves. At 16, an anorexic beauty queen, she collapses in a puddle of her tears and blood. Cause she never felt enough, she never felt enough. Your sellers told this lie that we must buy to keep in touch. We can never buy enough.
Damn. Rand dropping real topics right on my front porch and then dipping out and be like, all right, please have fun with that. I feel for the parents who have to raise daughters. And to me, that's probably the most scariest portion. Like, yes, I think the initial thing for guys is like, yo, I gotta stop other dumb guys like me trying to, mess with my daughter's value or whatever that might be. But like, for them to not compare themselves to other people and tear them down, to not know that mom and dad aren't just going like, you're special because we're mom and dad, but like, there's something within you that everyone, or everyone who's supposed to is going to love. And when you find those people who love that, you're going to know you found home. You're going to know you found new family. And then trying to keep that self-worth up would be so scary for me if I had daughters. Now, the Lord was like, here's a couple boys. I'm cool with that. But I feel for anybody trying to raise a daughter who doesn't feel like they're enough. Oh, my heart goes out to him.
Never buy enough. Toxic beauty queen, she collapses in a puddle of her tears and blood. Cause she never felt enough, she never felt enough. Your sellers told this lie that we must buy to keep in touch. We can never buy enough, never buy enough. All the riches in the world can't buy a sense of self-love. Funny how you act surprised when depression's levels rise, when you force feed inadequacy straight into our eyes. Television shows that praise the beautiful people, and talent competitions that just laugh at the feeble. Billboards, magazines, people turn to plasticine, molded like a factory. We're growing up to fear feeling ugly, it's lunacy. And life in the community is insecurity breeds judgment, judgment breeds hate, no unity. And hierarchy based upon aesthetics is what makes a kid in school get bullied for genetics. And I felt so ugly growing up. The way that I look sometimes got me beaten up.
That's what I was just thinking about. It's like he had to probably deal with some of the most, you know what I mean? But I saw him in the gym the other day. I saw him and he was just like, oh, back at it in the gym. He looking like nice and healthy. So you paused.
I mean, what the fuck sort of culture do we live in when we're defined by the shape of our face, when we're ashamed by the size of our waist, when we're imprisoned by the form that we take? And so we keep buying and spending. That's just how this story goes. You build us up just to knock us back down, and we just keep falling
Dominoes.
like dominoes.
Oh.
Bending, that's just how this story goes. You build us up just to knock us back down, and we just keep falling like dominoes.
It's
Where beauty is sold on the shelves, forbid that we
wanna hear
find
that
it
chorus
in
again,
ourselves. And now I'm broke, it don't come cheap. Oh, you build us like dominoes, dominoes, dominoes falling. Oh, you build us like dominoes, dominoes, dominoes falling. You build us up just to knock us back down. Funny how you act surprised when we hit the ground. We're like dominoes, dominoes, dominoes falling. Ariah was the most beautiful.
yeah. Shout out to everyone, because we all deal with it. You know, that comparison. What say the comparison's biggest thief of joy or something like that, or yeah, it's like, especially with social media, the rise of it over the last decade and a half, 2 decades, where it became what everybody got to see all the time. And then we look left and right. I mean, I fall on the same line of that too. Like, oh, I could go another day in the gym would be dope. You know, like if you could do 6 days, that would be even better than 5. You know, then you could keep up and say you're better. Like, it's dumb on me to fight myself that way, but I do it too. Like, I'm just as guilty. I feel like, you know, a healthy guilt isn't too bad, but there's people who can lose left or right, and Ariah apparently just didn't find enough people who found enough value in her the way she was. And so, would you say the eating disorder and the makeup costs and stuff like that were, you know, what took her over? That's why I say, man, I don't know why Ren is so good at talking about regular topics that like something that I'm intrigued to speak about. Like, I got opinions about how we view ourselves and like how it don't mean shit. And like, another thing I like about this community, it just doesn't seem to be a big community where we're all big on, like, you know, stunt like this and you stunt like that and you do this and you do that. No, it's like just everyday average people with good feels and want the best and longevity for everybody and the same peace, safe, and opportunities. You know, like, but I'm telling you, yeah, that social media is the downfall, and it pour people into, you know, like you remember waist trainers? You remember people, you know, like when that popped, that was like a big thing. Like, for, I mean, it still is. I watch girls, I'm like, you mean a girdle? But like, it's not. Why are we trying to train our waist to be unhealthy and screw up our organs for something? Like, that's crazy. To mess with our health over that stuff, nah, man, it ain't worth that. And the problem is young, dumb, superficial Joey was victim and just believed in some of that same stuff myself. So I can't point the finger to blame at anybody. Like, I'm not guilty. Like, I am just as guilty to a point, and then I'm still that way now. But like, I got a little bit older where sometimes I can recognize it, and I'm not gonna screw up my internal organs over this, or I'm not gonna not eat or get too big of a, I don't know, makeup bill or something like that to stay whatever looking whatever. Like, literally, I don't have no hair, but you don't see me going to get the transplant, even though it wasn't part of an option or something like when I was younger. So I never like looked at it how the younger people look at it now. They're like, yeah, man, go get you some hair. Anyways, I'm getting off topic. Kudos to Ren on this Dominoes track. Once again, another song that people can listen to and, in my mind, share different testimony about dealing with some of these things, and maybe help some of us who don't feel like we have enough value in ourselves and want to change that so we can gain more value for some reason. Maybe we can hear other people's testimonies and go, you know what, I'm probably good just by myself, and if I just keep my eyes peeled, I'll start to see more of the people who appreciate me for the things that I think really count. I don't think you could put it any more simpler. You feel me? tell me if you've ever felt like you not been enough and like why. If you want to share, for me and share for somebody else. And like I said, I could tell you about plenty of times. I can tell you one time when I was in high school, I was dating a young girl and she was new to the school. And she was just a little older than me. I was 15, she was 16. She had her license. And I hadn't had my permit yet. My permit was on its way, but it just hadn't got there yet. And I remember sitting at that front windshield, or like she would call, and this back the day we didn't have cell phones. I don't even think pagers were, yeah, it wasn't hitting for us yet. They were almost there. Um, and I just, call her up and be like, yo, you coming through? And she'd be like, yup. And then I would sit at that window and then wonder why I wasn't enough to be like, like, I don't know, whatever it was in that moment. I really didn't feel like I was enough in that moment. And I remember playing myself by looking out that window, like literally sitting at the windowsill like this, checking the streets that she could have been showing up. But then I got a little bit more self esteem after that, And it's all said and good because I met my wife. She was the best thing happening to me. So, anyways, appreciate you guys stopping by for this reaction. Subscribe if you're new. Once again, film director, film videographer. That's the POV I hit all these with, but I'm also an empath, so it's hard for me not to feel good, emotional music. All right. So I'll see you on the next reaction. Peace.